Thank you for joining me today. For Real Estate, Religion, and You. My name is Dr. Sylvia Black, and today we're going to be talking on a continued basis of my book, Achieving the Dream of Homeownership, a step-by-step guide to owning a home. Now today's topic is going to be, what are your spending habits? Now, this book is a step-by-step guide, as I've said, for owning a home. It takes you from start to finish. Okay, it answers a lot of questions that you have, and it gives you direction in which you need to turn. Now, it doesn't provide names, addresses, or phone numbers in here, okay, because I don't want to recommend anyone. But if you're looking for a full-service licensed real estate broker in the state of New York, Affordable Homes and Apartments would like to be your full-service broker. Okay, and we're talking, what are your spending habits? Now, most people have a spending pattern. They earn income each month and either spend it or spend some of it or spend it all. A lot of people don't have a habit of saving money. They just spend because they don't really plan for anything significant. A lot of people live from paycheck to paycheck because they don't have any kind of, any goal in mind, And, the average American family saves less than 5% of your take-home income, believe it or not. It's best to consistently save, much more than 5%. Okay, what I suggest is that you have two bank accounts, checking and a savings, or you could have two checking accounts, right? Make sure that either one of those accounts do not charge you fees. You have a no-fee account. And in addition to that, I also suggest that you take $100 or $50, whatever you can, muster up. And every time you get paid, you put that $50 or that $100 up in a little nest egg in your house somewhere. You open up another bank account if you so desire. The reason why I suggest that you keep it in the house, but you keep it, somewhere safe and locked up. Now, nobody knows that you're saving money. Nobody knows that the money is there but you. Not even your husband or your wife. Okay? This is money that you're going to save for a rainy day. If you're good at it, then just put it in another bank, in a different bank, that way you have your checking and your savings account. Okay? And then just save that money. Try to consistently save, money every week, every other week, whenever you get paid, twice a month for some people. Okay? And just put that money aside. If you can save $200 a week, that would be great, a pay period. Okay? You must be willing to adjust your spending habits, however, if you want anything significant in life. The object is to plan, okay? And people tell you, do you want to spend $12, for lunch? Hey, I'm saving up for a house. I can't afford to, spend lunch. I got to bring my lunch. You got to stand in line. You got to wait for the food. You got to, walk over to the place. And then you got to gobble down the food, And then, by that time, you can't even sit down and enjoy your meal, But the bottom line is that you're saving up for a house. And when you tell that to people, they'll be like, wow, she's saving up for a house. Maybe I can own a house if I save up for it, If I can adjust my spending habits. Bring your lunch. Get up a little early in the morning, prepare your lunch. But you're going to have to fix extra dinner, extra meals, because you're going to be taking your lunch to work with you. You can take a sandwich, whatever you want. You could cook, have a home cooked meal at lunch, or you could just have some sandwiches and some fruit. When you get to work, you just fix your sandwich, fix your whatever it is that you got, and you go ahead and you eat your food. And that's one way to save. The average person spends about $10, $12 a day. Okay. The average person spends like $10, $12 a day on lunch. Okay, $10 a day, that's $50 a week. That's $200 and change a month that you could be saving up that could actually go towards your mortgage. I'm telling me I'm saving up for a house. I can't afford to spend, money like that. I'm saving up, I'm trying to put my money away I need for closing costs, Just, that's what you're saying. If you do, and maybe you can alert them. Maybe they say, hey, well, maybe I can do the same thing, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you must be willing. First, you need to, you're going to need some money. Now, there's down payment and closing cost assistance, as well as grant money, low interest rate loans, and there are mortgage companies that actually that I list in the book. Okay, I do list those in the book. The government, the different particular mortgage companies that have low down payment loans. Okay, and they can be as low as 3%. And if you're a veteran and you served in this, and I put the criteria in my book also, you can pay as little as $100 down on a brand new house. But veterans, you're going to still need some money at closing costs. So don't think that you're not going to need any money at all, because there's so much generous help and so much financial assistance that's available for you that you don't have to pay back. Okay, but you're going to need some money, and you're going to need to be responsible. Okay, because after you purchase the house, everything is fine, everything is perfect, everything is in working order. Everything is just fine and dandy, and all of a sudden, in the dead of winter, 6 months later, your furnace breaks down. God forbid, but it could happen. The best thing to do, I would suggest, that when you first move into your house, get a checkup on all your maintenance, things. Get a furnace checkup, get somebody to do a checkup on that. Okay, because that's supposed to have been done, by a licensed individual or company that registered for a permit to have to install that. So if it's registered with the city as having been installed properly with the proper paperwork behind it, and you got your certificate of occupancy, which the bank is going to require, and I'll explain all of these terms to you later, and it's actually in the book, okay, then you know that you can get you a tune-up or a maintenance, somebody to come out and take a look at, your furnace, somebody to come take a look at your hot water tank, okay, even though it may be August, okay, it's 90 degrees out there, 80 degrees at night, 90 degrees in the day, but I'm going to get me a furnace checkup. I'm going to get my furnace checked up. Just bought the house, okay, and whatnot, and now you're in the summertime, but you want to make sure when that wintertime comes around that you're not going to have to worry about that furnace breaking down. Okay, so if anything is needed to be done to it, it needs to be done now while the weather's warm. Just like I talk about avoiding foreclosure at the onset of you buying a house. You say, hey, why is she talking about avoiding foreclosure? And I'm just not, buying a house, because you don't want to get to a position where you don't know what to do when you don't have the mortgage payment. Okay? The things happen, stuff happens, and you want to be prepared. That's the main thing, being prepared. Not waiting until after it happens. You want to be prepared because you want preventative measures. That's what I call it, preventative measures. Okay. Now you get all of that checked up. You get your pipes checked up. You get all of that. You don't have to do it immediately as soon as you move in. You enjoy your house for a while, and then you say, well, when it's fall is here now or whatever. Now let me get my furnace checked out. Let me get all of these things, these items, because you're going to check with the city. You're going to make sure everything is in place. Of course it will be, because you're getting a mortgage, and the mortgage company and the other, I call them a home buying team, have already made sure that everything is the way it should be. Now, you may have a warranty on the furnace. You may have a warranty on the hot water tank. You may have a warranty on any of the work that was done. These are just some of the questions you're going to need to ask, okay? Because you're going to have to find out. You could get insurance on your appliances, okay? So if anything goes down, I would say go to an insurance company, and get it. Make sure they're a licensed insurance company. They can insure your, what have you, and then, that's less money out your pocket. There may be some times where you may need to pay out of pocket, but there are ways that you can prepare for these things and avoid, spending an endless amount of money on things that you were not prepared for. You're sleeping snug in your bed. You might have just started a brand new job. You got to be to work. All of a sudden, you ain't got no furnace. 3 o'clock in the morning. You ain't got no heat. Now, what you going to do? You ain't going to get enough sleep. You're not enough rest. You got to find a way to stay warm. You know, what you gonna do? Now your house gonna be cold all day long. You know, and then when you come home, you're gonna get somebody. You might have to take. You know, you have to think about all the big picture. Okay, okay. Now, what I talk about in the book, and is what you can do as an exercise. You know, you can start video right now. Okay, or play it over again when you're ready. And you take a piece of paper, and on the left hand side you write your income, and on the right hand side you write your expenses. Now at the top left hand corner you write your wages. Okay, just your wages if you're working. If you're not working and you're on Section 8, then you list the other income that you have coming in. That's steady, regular income, whatever it is. Okay, and any other income you may have. Okay, and then on the right hand side, I want you to list at the top of that your utilities, your gas, electric, your cable. Okay, I don't even know if they include cable in your expenses or not. But we wanted to, and your insurance payments and your taxes. Okay, you're gonna just put a roundabout figure in there. Let's say 100. Not even that much, but let's say $100 for insurance, $100 for taxes a month. Okay, put that in there as your expenses once you get your new home, and then your gas and electric. And your cable, just add the cable anyway. You'll figure it out later on. It's better to be overestimating than lower estimating. Okay, that's at the top. And then on the bottom of the right hand side, I want you to put all the other expenses that you have. Okay, you could have subscribed to a music channel. Okay, you might have any subscriptions that you have. You want to put them down there. You put your gas, how much you think you spend a month. For your car, for your automobile, and for all people who drive. Okay, you want to put it all down, but next to it you put the name of the person, so you have all your expenses. Okay, and then food. I want you to put that down there at the bottom on the right hand side. So you're going to add every single thing that you can possibly think of on that bottom. Now what I want you to do is to take your income, and I want you to take the top portion of what you put on there for expenses, and then I want you to subtract the two from each other. Okay, subtract, once you add the top one, just your income, your wages, or whatever other income you have, just might as well just take the whole thing, all of the income that you have coming in. It's got to be steady income, like Social Security or something like that, or And then so what you're going to be doing. Okay, we'll talk about the Section 8, and I talk about that in my book, and I also have a book for that. Buy a Home with Your Section 8 Homeownership Voucher. Okay, so now you take your income and you subtract it from your expenses, just the ones on the top: your gas, electric, taxes, insurance, and cable. Okay, and then you subtract those two. Don't subtract all that other stuff. Actually, insurance, that's your taxes, insurance, right? Yeah. So you subtract that, those two columns, right? And then you come up with a figure. Now you take that figure that you come up with and you multiply that by 28. And then whatever that number is that you come up with 28, if it's a plus, then you can figure, you add another zero. Let's see. If you have 500, add two more zeros on the back of that. And that would be about how much of a house that you can afford, based on what you're dealing with right then and there. Okay, so you take the figures, you subtract your income from your expenses. Okay, the top half, not the subscriptions and what have you. Okay, just your gas, electric, cable, taxes, and insurance. Just that. You subtract it from your income. And then you come up with a figure, whatever the figure is, you multiply it by 28. It's called debt to ratio income. Okay, 28, and then you also take it, and I want you to multiply the same number before you multiply it by 28. Take that number, multiply with two different numbers. I want you to multiply it by 28, and another one I want you to multiply it by 36. Okay, now you take it to 28, whatever you multiplied it with, and that figure there that you have, if it's a plus, add two zeros on the back of it, and that's how much of a house you can afford. For example, okay, now I have some scenarios. It's called debt to ratio income. Once you have calculated your DTI ratio, that's what it's called, you'll want to understand how lenders review it when they're considering your application for a loan. Now we're going to talk about some of the guidelines, okay? Now your debt to ratio income can impact how favorably lenders review your application, okay? 35% or less looking good. Relative to your income, your debt is at a manageable level. You most likely have money left over for savings and spending after you paid your bills, and lenders generally view a lower DTI as very favorable. 36% to 49% is an opportunity to improve. You're managing your debt adequately, but you may want to consider lowering your DTI, and this could put you in a better position to handle unforeseen expenses if you're looking to borrow money to buy a home. Now keep in mind that lenders may ask you for additional eligible criteria. 50% or less, then you're going to need to take more action. You're going to have to buckle up and actually really start to save. Now you may have limited funds to save or to spend in this scenario, so we're going to have to work on that. Now with more than half of your income in this scenario going towards your debt payments, you may not have much money left over to save or spend or handle unforeseen expenses. With this DTI ratio, lenders may limit your borrowing options, or they may reject your application altogether. Now lenders use the debt to ratio income to measure your ability to manage the payments you make each month and repay the money that they have borrowed. Remember, banks are in business to make money. They're not necessarily in business, and don't take this offensively, they're not in business to loan you money because you're a nice family, and because you go to church, or because you're saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost on fire, or because you really, really want a house and you do the right thing. No, they're in the business of making money. So your home buying team is in the business of making money, and I talked to you about the home buying team, who's included in that. Okay. Your home buying team is in business to make money. The mortgage company is in the business. If they can loan you money, they can make money. They make money off of the loan itself from when they actually loan it to you in commissions. And then they actually, at the closing table, they make money there. And then they make money each month from the loan, because when you're paying interest, remember, on the loan. So the interest that you pay is money in the bank's pocket. Okay, if you can't pay the loan, then they can't make no money. Okay, and you're going to pay, I would say, at least the first 7 years of the mortgage, you're probably going to be paying interest only. Okay, now you can pay some of that towards principal, and like I said, I'll discuss what all this means. It's actually in the book. Okay, Achieving the Dream of Home Ownership Early in Your Life, a step-by-step guide to buying a house. Okay, and I'm the author of the book, which you can purchase it. You can get a copy on the website. It's listed at the bottom of your screen. Now, they make money off interest. So the first 7 years of the mortgage, you're going to be probably paying interest only. You're not even going to be touching upon the actual mortgage itself. But there may still be room that you can refinance, because when a family moves into a home, even if it's brand new and newly constructed, a lot of times it goes up in value. The opposite is the same for a car, for automobiles. When you drive off the lot with a car, that car goes down in value. Okay, a house appreciates. Okay, that is what it's called. And then there's possibly room for refinancing. You know, it depends on how much you're looking to get. You know, whatever. You could wait a couple of months or a couple of years, or you could try right away to see, hey, I'd like to refinance my mortgage, get a second mortgage, whatever. Okay, same thing if you were paying cash. Okay, you would get a second mortgage when you actually moved into it. Now you've increased the value that you moved into it. It's more than what you actually paid for it. And now you can either sell it or you can refinance it. Okay. Now, there's a lot of questions that you're going to have to ask yourself, which I talk about in the book, which I'm not going to ask you right now. But if you've done that scenario and you look at your wages, now you have a closer look at your money. And you can tell what it is that you can do, or what you need to do now to move forward in buying a house. Okay? Now, like I said, I told you the numbers. Okay? Now, you're going to need to save up money for a down payment. Okay, if you don't have money for down payment, I would say at least $1,500 that you're going to need. Okay, you're gonna need at least 1,500 saved up that you don't touch, that you're not gonna need to spend. Okay, I would say another 1,500 you'll probably need down the road for your for appliances or some other thing. You're gonna need to buy supplies for the house, cleaning supplies. You probably have a lot of that now, but some things you're gonna need to buy because now you're moving in from an apartment to a house. However, if you're renting a house, and then the transition will be a little easier because probably won't have to get rid of any of your furniture. If you're in an apartment, you probably have to get some more furniture to fill up because you may not have a dining room in your apartment, so you got a dining room in your house. Now you got to think about decorating your house. You want it to look nice, so you're gonna need money for furniture. You're gonna need money for moving expenses. Okay, you're gonna need money for insurance. You're gonna need money for taxes. You're gonna need more money. Okay, so this means you're gonna have to save money. You're gonna have to cut back on spending. Cut back on a lot of the splurging that you've been doing. I'm not saying that you can't enjoy your money that you earn. You work hard for your money. You should be able to enjoy it. The good things that you do with your money, the pleasurable things, going to the movies, going out to eat. No, I'm saying limit it. Okay, make it a true celebration when you go out. But you can minimize it. You can reduce. Okay, so instead of buying food every day, at lunchtime, buy it on Friday. Okay, celebrate the week that you've successfully saved up. Let's say you spend $10 a day. You saved up $40. You can afford to spend 10. Right? You save $40, so now you're actually putting money back into your house. Okay. Now you may need, like I said, you're going to need money for earnest money deposit. That's at the beginning when you first sign the contract. Okay, and I usually ask for $500 or $1,000 down. Okay, now that money goes towards the closing costs. Okay, so maybe you might only need about $1,000 or $500. But you got to remember, you got a home buying team that also wants to get paid. The real estate broker and the mortgage company are not the only two people that's involved in you buying a house. And I list those and I talk about that in my book. Okay, now although most costs are incurred in connection with purchasing a home, added into the closing costs and paid at the closing table. That's when you actually get, ready to get the keys to your new house and you're ready to move in. You've finalized all the paperwork and the house is now finally yours. Okay? If you don't have the money you need it, then when you get to the closing table, all that work would have been in vain, baby, and you will not get that house. Okay? You will need money, as I said, your home buying team. Okay. Now, if you truly want to own a home of your own and you want to do it now's the time to start. I would, say that you will own your own home. It'll happen for you. It may not happen in the next few months. It may happen in 6 months, or it may happen in a year, or it may happen in the next 2 months. Because believe it or not, let's say you have money saved up. Let's say you have, a decent amount of money put aside. Okay, and I talk about money that you probably can get access to that you probably don't even realize that you have at your fingertips, that you can get access to, that's your money already anyway. Okay, that you probably can get, or that you can get that money, some of that money and whatnot, and use that towards your down payment. You can use that towards your closing costs, and it's right in my book. And I talk about it, and a lot of people don't even realize they have that kind of money already, that, hey, I already got, you didn't know that. But your savings account is good because I can look at my savings account and I can see how much money I got. I can look at my little stash that I got, stashed away, and I can see how much I can actually feel the money is real, Because sometimes you want to handle cash, you don't always want to be dealing with cards. But sometimes you need to deal with cards because you don't want to be flashing all that cash. Okay, and when you see cash, you be like, oh, now I want to buy this and I want to buy that. Stay out of the store. Don't go in the store unless you want to buy something. Or that you need something. Stay out of the malls. Malls are drawing there for you to buy. You know what I mean? Unless you go into the movies. What do them horses wear? They wear them visors and whatnot, so they don't see what's on the left or the right. Okay? Make sure you look straight ahead, and when you leave your house, you say, we're going to the movies, and that's all we're going to do. When we get to if the movies is in the mall. You're not going to go shopping. You're not going to buy anything. Well, you're going to look, and that's it. Make up your mind that that's what you're going to do because you have an ultimate goal that you're trying to accomplish. Now, do you want to own a home? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. And if you do, then you'll work towards saving up the money that you need to buy it. You know, a lot of people come to me and they say they don't want the responsibility, but they don't understand that even the place that you live in now, the place that you're renting, requires responsibility. Okay, believe it or not, it's a responsibility for you to take care of your apartment. Landlords are now requiring that you get renter's insurance. Okay, they're getting strict. They're cracking down on you. So why not own a home? And the responsibility now is yours. You won't have a landlord now that you got to call. You're gonna have to take care of everything, and that's what makes you feel good. Now you're more responsible. Now you're in a position now that you take charge and you take control of your situation instead of letting your situation take charge of you. Okay, if you pay your rent on time, then you should be able to pay your mortgage on time. You'll have help. You have a home buying team that's going to help you, and you have us, Affordable Homes and Apartments. Now, I can assist you. I can counsel you. I provide workshops and seminars if you're out of the state of New York, but I can only sell you a house if you're in the state of New York. Okay, now it depends on what kind of house you want to purchase too. You can purchase a small house, or you can purchase a large house. Okay, depends on on you. A small house would require less maintenance. A larger house would require a lot more maintenance. Nevertheless, a house is going to require maintenance. So I'm going to conclude with that. Now don't forget, go over those numbers on that page. And you can call it budget sheet if you like. Go over those numbers for your income on one side and your expenses on the other. And see what you can cut down on. And then try to, add it up again, subtract it again, to see how much more of a house that you can afford once you can cut down on certain expenses. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to holler at sister. And this is Sylvia Black, and I'm going to ask you to holler at sister. I'll see you next time. Peace out.